Okay, now that you have a big stack of note cards, maybe you have about, hopefully about um, 12, 12 note cards, maybe 3 or 4 ideas for each of your subtopics, each of your big ideas, and you've got all that information. Now, what do you do with it? So you've got to get it organized by your main topics. So go back and think about your research question and those questions, or your research topic, and then those questions you generated, and then start putting your cards in order, in not in order, but in the places within those topics. You're looking for details that support each of those ideas, each of those big ideas, and that then will become your outline. Now, an outline looks a little bit like this. This is just a generic one. You'll have your introduction, and you'll provide a little bit of background about your topic, and then you're going to list those supporting ideas. And then right down here, those 3 supporting ideas go boom, boom, boom. And each of those supporting ideas that support your big idea, your big topic, should have at least 2 or 3 facts to support those ideas. So that is what an outline looks like. And again, this is where your note cards are going to go. These are your these have to do with your research questions that you've generated. This is your topic. You're going to be describing, just give the background of your big topic. And then these are maybe the focus of your research right here. And then this is where each of your note cards is going to go. Each of those facts that you wrote on your note cards are there. It's all going to go right there. So you saw Mrs. Varner's note cards that I was creating about fish and plants in Lake Erie and threats to the natural resources. Um, so right here, I've created my outline. I've got the introduction because, again, my topic was to find out the living and non-living natural resources in Lake Erie. So in my background, I'm just going to tell where Lake Erie is located and some of the important fish, plants, and non-living resources that we have. And then the supporting ideas are about that there are many fish to catch for sport or to sell. And then again, I'm going to have details to support that. And then that plants create oxygen in the water to keep it healthy. I also found that there were some plants that did not make it healthy, so I'll change that. And you'll change things as you go because, again, I haven't written it yet. And then also, salt mining deep under the lake floor was one of those non-living resources that we must use and protect. So I took each of those ideas, each of those 3 ideas, and I made a big category for those. The supporting idea about many fish to catch for sport or to sell. Um, Lake Erie has some plants that are helpful and others that are not. And then I didn't put the last one in here, but then I would have the other supporting idea would be about salt mining as a resource from the lake. And then I would come up with 2 details to support that. So this just kind of gives you the beginning of my outline where I have the details. Each of these details came from my note cards, and those go to support those big ideas. So that's what you will do. You will look for and put them in the order that you want to have them in your article. All right, and once you've got it, an outline, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want your big ideas there. That's why your note cards, you want to have as many note cards as possible. You can always cut things out and change things when you're doing the writing, but it's harder to add things later. So it's important to do all your research first, and you may decide that you can't find a whole lot of information that you thought you would be able to find on some part. So maybe you want to look at something else. Like I might have gone a different direction with this if I couldn't find enough. I was having trouble finding plant information, and I thought about changing that and taking it out. I was trying to look up at the important plants, and I discovered that there were plants that were not healthy. So I had to look at both kinds. And I wanted to talk about both kinds of plants, the kind that are that keep it healthy and the kind that that make it not so healthy. So you'll kind of shift and change as you go. After you've got your outline like this with all of your details and everything, each one of these is going to become a paragraph. And that's the next phase of our writing a research paper is the paragraphing. We will take each of these ideas here, each of these sections, and write a full paragraph from those ideas.